Hey, can you believe it? I can't even believe these pictures. Kind of getting used to it. Had a lot of drama this year that just passed. The last time I wrote, um, it was like my my fat cells were going really down really fast, and my so it gave me a rush of estrogen, and I actually, oh, I actually, I actually had a baby, and where the doctors always told me I could never have a baby at all, like ever, ever, ever. So um, that that was a surprise, and you're not supposed to have get pregnant during, I mean, after your bariatric surgery. So regardless, I went, my highest weight was 310 pounds, and my lowest weight, a couple of months ago, I went down to 149. Since giving birth, I mean, during the pregnancy, I gained a total of 6 pounds, and I couldn't really shake that weight, and I was just like kind of like belly, like a hard belly. But my arms, my back, the neck, everything kind of just melted away. And luckily, I don't have that kind of like cellulite jelly skin. Um, so I kind of snapped back a little nicer. But I do have some excess skin, a little, maybe more than an inch, but not really like, I don't know. It's not as terrible as you would think, having lost over 100 pounds. So my lowest was 149, and now I'm at about 160. I started eating rice and meat, so I'm like gaining weight, but like sucks to not have any strength. Despite taking a multivitamin or whatever. But now I'm just like trying to get my core strength, with some planks and some body work, and um, a hint of cardio. So let me see. These these pants I'm wearing are actually a size 27. So I'm like, what? Because I used to be I used to be up there. I used to be up there. I know my shirts were 28, and I'm wearing like a size small coat. Or I have one coat that's like an extra small, which is really cute. It's like a rabbit fox fur. I only take it to Fifth Ave. I know it's not like the best um, view, but I mean it's a considerable change. I have my guns. It's what does this chick say? It's a size healthy. It's a size healthy. I did go through a lot of starvation. I mean, not starvation, but like it is starvation, but at the same time it's not, because with the sleeve, what they do is they shave off. What they did was they shaved off with the robotic 80% of my they shaved off 80% of my stomach, which was like, they said it was the size of an NFL football, which is supposed to be the size of your fist. But it was a lot bigger than that, and I was like I was like a three Big Mac, a three Big Mac, a three Whopper kind of girl. And so I went the year I couldn't stand anything. I actually went. They took my blood and everything, and I had the worst post-op at um, what's the name, in 168 in Washington Heights. They could not have, they totally um, ravaged my post-op. I mean, luckily I did a lot of research, and I knew everything there was to know, and I could basically had to take care of myself because, they cut me open, and after I came, to my, I came back, I got absolutely no post-op care from that hospital. I mean, they turned me away multiple times. Um, I had to threaten to go to the ER because I'm pregnant and I didn't realize it. And they actually took my blood and told me that I had an acute and rare case of acid reflux, when actually what I was about 3 months pregnant. So I mean, it's ravaged me in more ways than I care to disclose at this moment. Um, it, it totally changed my future. It took away. I no longer speak to. I no longer go to Colombia. I have a little wart on my finger, so I do go to the dermatologist at downtown on 51st Street, but I don't go there for, I have to be dying and not be able to get on somewhere else for me to get care at CU Presbyterian, because I mean it was the worst experience. I mean, literally I was like, I must be getting my period or something, because I'm having really bad cramps, and everybody says that um, you get cramps when you get your menstrual, and I've never gotten a menstrual. I never had that issue. I've always had, you know, I've never had a period. Like, I don't know what that is to, get cravings every 28 days or whatever, what have you. And so I thought I was developing a menstrual, like cramps or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this could be cool. And a couple of days later, I was developing the cramps like by Saturday and into Sunday. I was in pain, and then Monday morning on August 12th at 7 a.m. I was picked up by the hospital. I had been visiting my mom, and I had bought my flight ticket to California because I wanted to do the skin graft in Silicon Valley. And I wanted to live my life out there, being that I have metal in my legs, and like the winter and the rain, it really fucks with my arthritis, and it messes me up a lot, and it's just to the point where the older I get, the scarier it is, seasonally. And most of the year it's cold here. I'm exposed to like damp weather. And so anyway, my flight was supposed to land on that day that they shot up LAX. And that guy, I don't know if he's dead yet, but I know they shot him in the head or whatever, and he had killed an officer there at the California airport in Los Angeles. I was supposed to be there that morning coming out of that flight, and instead I was pushing a baby out. I went into the hospital ER in my mom's neighborhood, which is not in New York, and I ended up giving birth at 10:42 in the morning. They said, at first I didn't believe it, because they were like, oh, what's the pain about? And I was like, I don't know, I think I'm getting cramps. So they took my urine, and they were like, you're pregnant. I was like, no, that's impossible. And I'm like, oh my God. When they said that, I knew I was fucked. I knew I was fucked, because I'm dolo, and no matter what you think you know about me, you don't know me. You know what I mean? You're tolerated oftentimes. And so I knew I was fucked, because uh, I got my sword and shield. I don't know about you, but anyway, um, so then they take my blood, and they're like pumping me with these like painkillers or whatever, opiates, I guess is what they call it. And so then what happened? They took my blood, you're pregnant. And I was like, no way. And my sister's here. And she's like mad annoying to me at this point because she's like patting my head. And I'm not trying to have nobody be touching my face, my head. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't want my head stroked by some girl. um, whatever. What happens is that I know I'm screwed, and then so they're like, oh, you're not pregnant? Yeah, is the urine, the blood, whatever, let's do the sonogram. They're like, yeah, okay. I didn't see it, but they were like, okay, this is the head and that's the spine. And I was like, oh shit. And next thing you know, they were like, oh, do you want to take like, the pain was bad, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't like, had I been able to prepare for this situation, maybe I would have taken the pain. Like, next time, I'm not taking pain pills. Like, yeah, it hurts, and yeah, that last push, I gave birth in 5 pushes. And because I waited till the last minute, she was ready to come out when I got there. So in like 3.5 hours, being in the hospital, I gave birth. 5 pushes. Um, it really didn't hit me that I had actually, created a human being and was in labor. Not when I pushed the head out, but when they said, okay, you have to push the shoulders out, she doesn't fit, can we cut you? And when they said like shoulders, I was like, wait a minute, that shoulders, human beings have shoulders. Like, what are you talking about, shoulders? And I swear to God, like, I remember, what's his face, Nick, was like, he had been leaning on my shoulders, and I was like, yo, I only let my sister do that, and I really, really hate it when even she does that, because, like, I'm not your pillar, so don't lean on me, you know what I mean? This is a fucking, like, 250-pound, 6'5" dude leaning on me, 5'5", whatever, dude. So anyway, when they said push the shoulders out, I was, like, bugging out. But I did, and they cut me, and, then I lost, I got sporadica, like, which is a pinched nerve behind my knee, and I contacted Colombia. They still didn't address me at all. It was like they lost my medical. They operated me, they cut me open, sent me on my way, and then threw out my paperwork. They just completely ignored that I existed. I constantly went over there until I just gave up on going. I mean, at this point, I'm just getting my feelings hurt trying to get medical attention. And it's funny because I went there because I thought they were the best and I would get the best quality care. But apparently I had gone to the WIC office, and they told me that they're actually, that unit, that division, that department for metabolic weight loss at Fort Washington is actually, according to the WIC, or the thin cow industry, they are shutting down that unit. When my friends found out that I was going to have that surgery, they were like, you're dead. First of all, they kill a lot of people there. And but I didn't realize that I would be so ravaged, and so discarded in such a way. I was totally humiliated when I gave birth in this random ER room. I'm Sacred Woman, and I wanted to keep my placenta, and they just took my placenta and they threw it out, and I'll never forget that, and I'll never forgive them for that.